Today we are going to study the next chapter, and the next chapter, forest are lifeline. In this chapter we are going to study about the types of forest and the things we observe in forest, what we get from forest and how we can protect our forest. So starting with forest. Now forest is a natural habitat for many different kinds of plants and animals, and not humans. So I'm talking about plants and animals. Forests provide food and shelter for animals. Some common animals which are found in forest are lion, tiger, elephant, monkey, deer, zebra, jackal, bison, boar, snake, porcupine, crocodile, and etc. These are the wild animals which are found in forest. And what are the kinds of plants we see in the forest are, there are certain plants like teak, bamboo, fig, seal, sesame, seamal, neem, palash, kale, amla, kachnar, etc. Now forest also have several kind of shrubs, herbs, grasses, climbers and creepers. Now bamboo is not a tree, bamboo is a type of grass which is having a very tall height. Now there are certain products we obtain from the forest or only from the wood of these plants. For example, from teak we obtain the furniture wood. From bamboo again we make furniture. And certain people also cook their food in bamboo, and bamboo is also used for shelter also. We make in the northern region, bamboo is used for making houses. Now sesame, the sesame leaves are very good. It is a very good medicinal plant, and certain medicines are made out of the sesame leaves. Now sal is again used for the furniture. Now we get several useful products from forest like wood, spices, gum, oils, honey, sealing wax, fodder, etc. Now we can see that the honey we do not get from the plants but from the honey bees, and we see that we get many of the spices from the forest. And moving on, there the characteristics of the trees which are found in forest is that in this we are going to study two new topics which we have not studied earlier. First is canopy and another is understory. Now what is canopy? Before proceeding canopy, we need to understand what is a crown. Now when we see a particular plant or a particular tree, we see that the tree is comprised of a trunk as well as the green area or the green these leaves. Now when we see the branchy part of the tree above the stem or above the trunk, this is called the crown of the tree. Now the crown of the tree have different shapes. Now different trees are having different types of crown. For example, the pine tree, which is the first tree, and the pine tree which we see the pine tree in Kashmir or in the hilly areas. Now pine tree is having a shape like a triangle. Now the crown of the crown of this tree will be known as pyramid, and the crown of the next tree is round. Then it is vase, oval, spreading, layered, columnar, and weeping. Now we see that, for example, the tree of the mango tree is having a spreading kind of crown. Next is, the branches of all trees look like a roof over the other plants in the forest. This is called canopy. Now the canopy is the roof of the forest which forms a particular branching. Moving on, these trees have different heights, crowns, shapes of leaves, flowers and fruits. Now the interdependence of components of the forest. Now forest has different types of plants and animals. They are autotrophs, heterotrophs, saprotrophs and decomposers. The autotrophs are the green plants which prepare food by process of photosynthesis. The heterotrophs are animals which get their food directly or indirectly from plants, and the saprotrophs are the animals which feed on dead animals. Decomposers are microorganisms which decompose dead plants and animals into humans. For example, autotrophs are all the green plants. Heterotrophs are we humans and other animals which depend upon another organism for their food. Saprotrophs which feed on the dead animals. For example, vultures, they feed on the dead animals. These are saprotrophs. And decomposers which decompose the dead animals. For example, fungi or bacteria. Now there is another thing which we observe in forest, that is food chain. The organisms which feed on plants are eaten by another organism and so on to form a food chain. For example, we see that the grass is eaten by insect, which in turn is eaten by frog, which in turn is eaten by snake and ultimately eagle. This forms a particular food chain. There are many food chains in the forest. All food chains are linked together. If any food chain is disturbed, it affects another food chain also. Moving on, the balance of oxygen and carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. Now we know that in forest, the green plants produces oxygen, whereas the animals produces carbon dioxide. Now the green plants require carbon dioxide and they give out oxygen, and the animals or we humans also, we take in oxygen and we give out carbon dioxide. Therefore, this creates an interdependence between plants as well as animals. During respiration, plants and animals take in oxygen and release carbon dioxide. During photosynthesis, plants take in carbon dioxide and release oxygen. So plants help in maintain the oxygen and carbon dioxide balance in the nature. This is why forest is also known as green lungs. Now we can see the interdependence as plants is giving out oxygen which animals are taking, and they give out carbon dioxide which plants are taking. Now the next thing is importance of forest. Now the forest is natural habitat for large number of plants and animals. Forest help in maintaining the oxygen and carbon dioxide balance in atmosphere. Forest help in bringing good rainfall. Forest help to protect soil erosion. How? Because the roots of the forest bind the soil tightly. So whenever heavy rainfall occurs, the soil is binded by the root. Therefore, it protects, the forest protects the soil, prevents the soil erosion. Forest absorb rainwater and helps to maintain water table, because when they absorb the rainwater, the water goes deep down, the roots keep the water into the water table, thereby maintaining the balance of the water in the atmosphere. We get medicinal plants, timber and many other useful products from the forest. Many people live in forest and forests provide them with food, water and shelter and medicines. Therefore, there are many important uses of the forest. We should protect our forest for our own use. This was all about the chapter forest. Thank you and have a nice day.